I had to use my inhaler for the first time today in a long, long time.
Oh, because you were wheezing?
Yeah, this hot weather, and we had rain last night, so it was very muggy.
Oh.
And I like that kind of weather, but muggy will occasionally trigger my asthma, and it absolutely did.
Well, you should just tell your asthma that you're part-time asthmatic, just like part-time diabetic.
Well, I am part-time asthmatic.
See?
I do shit all the time that you're not supposed to as an asthmatic, like smoking.
Yeah, like, look, asthma, I'm on a vacation right now. I don't have time for your shit.
I got time for your shenanigans.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies. That should be enough for the ads, right?
I don't know. I forgot. I didn't realize you had hit the button.
Assuming people, actually got ads. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing, my friend?
All right. How are you?
I'm mostly good. Like I said, just a couple of hits of the old inhaler and I was fine. I'm sore as shit because I put in an air conditioner yesterday and should have let my son do the hard work. And as I told you, I have control issues.
Apparently.
I have trouble just sitting back. One of the hardest things I have to do is occasionally my son will come over, for like different family events and stuff, and he'll barbecue for everybody. And I'm like, but I should be doing it. Not that I want to. I'm happy that he's doing it because I just get a kick back, right? But there's that part of me that's like, oh, you're gonna do it wrong. Let me do it. Let me do it. He hasn't done it wrong yet. His dad taught him very well. But yeah, it's hard for me. Apparently. I have control issues, Jack.
I guess so. Jeez.
Steel, thank you so much. Who says, good to see you two on. Thank you for month number 11, my friend, as a subscriber. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to see you too, Seal.
Yeah, we'll get to the worst stuff here. The title and the thumbnail, and it's fuck. Anything we want to cover before we do this? Because this might take a little while, Jack.
All right, let's hit the main talking points in bullet point form. There's a Russian sub off the coast of Miami.
Yep.
They did a big sting on some terrorists, arrested like 8 people. A bunch of Chinese nationals got caught coming over the border. What am I missing?
We have the press trying to convince us that Joe Biden's not demented.
Oh, yeah. Don't believe your lying eyes. It's all misinformation or a fake video.
It's a cheap fake. It's a cheap fake.
It's cheap.
Tina says, listening to Nick right now, been a pretty good stream so far. Just saying, we're going to disagree on that a lot, Tina.
Yeah. There was a bunch of North Korean soldiers started to cross the demilitarized zone and got blown up by landmines.
Whoopsie.
And there was a live fire incident in the process. So it's just escalating around the world a little bit.
This is going on as Putin is over there with Kim Jong-un this week.
Yeah.
Thank you. When we were off the air, Tyra, who says, thanks to your political knowledge and my watching your show for years, I was able to counter someone in a school post about saying ICE was created by Obama. You talked about INS being replaced by DHS or ICE. Thanks, Monkey. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad we were able to actually pass on useful knowledge.
It's rare, believe me, but it happens. Oh, also, there's a Chinese syndicate that is helping illegal aliens get into the U.S.
Nah, come on now. Next, you're going to tell me the Mexicans are doing that.
Shocked too. Yeah, like they're working with the cartels that buy the fentanyl off the Chinese.
Yeah. There's been a lot going on. There are a lot of real cases and stuff to talk about. And I realize, guys, a lot of you come here for the political stuff, and I appreciate that. But that's on the back burner because this stupid shit happened today. All right. Should we just jump in, Jack?
That's the only way to do it, I think.
All right. This is what... Okay, so I guess we should start back even a little further. Nick Rekieta announced that he was going to be on Rumble and YouTube for his first real stream back since everything went down. And then about 2 hours before he was supposed to go live, this happened. Over on the Kiwi Farms, somebody dropped these documents. Now, we're not going to be able to read the documents.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I will show you. I can pull it up on this.
Hold
What's
up.
up?
Start over. You
Why?
ducking in and out on that.
Oh, sorry about that. We're not going to be able to read the documents because they're, well, that's as good as they get on the screen. I had to get really, really close to read these, Jack.
Actually, I didn't have too much of a problem reading them. They're just
Well,
some of it is very, very grainy.
the really important one is actually this one right here. Number 1 in post 2. And at the very top of it, we find out that if these are correct, we do not know for sure that this is 100% true. We'll get to that a little bit more in a little bit. But if it's true, they found cocaine in Nick's 9-year-old daughter's bloodstream.
Yes. According to this, she tested positive for cocaine. And there was a home visit by their equivalent of Child Protective Services, and that person was denied access to the master bedroom. And they did report that the house was still cluttered with like blankets and stuff strewn all over, and they had difficulty navigating the home.
Yeah. Upscale it. It doesn't do real good because it's not a good picture to begin with.
Yeah, it's not high enough resolution to make that viable.
No, the more you scroll in, the worse it gets by a lot.
Yeah. So, according to the document, on May 23rd, the kids were removed. We know that. That was the police raid. Yep. On May 28th, somebody went to check the house. And they did a walkthrough that found the house was in disarray. And they were denied access to the master bedroom. So that's at the point where they filed this a few days later. And this is basically a protective document.
Carla Vila, not exactly. It says Nick confirmed the leak is true on his stream clip on the farms. One, I couldn't get to the farms earlier. I was on it for a moment, and then I went to go to the next page, and it had crashed, and it had crashed for a lot of people. So,
Josh locked the Rekieta page.
No, this was after it was open.
Oh, after you reopened it?
Yeah. If you go to Fugi's timeline, you can see people talking about it crashed, and it had a 502 error going on.
But people must have been flooding it.
No, yeah, whoa.
Crack pipes. Jesus, not sequitur.
Yeah, the interest in this, especially with Nick coming back tonight, the timing on it, somebody was waiting for this.
Oh yeah.
But Nick never actually says that it's a real report. At least not for. I stopped watching after I got probably 20 super chats that he was reading. Which, by the way, guys, me and Jack have a fundraiser we're thinking about doing. If me and him get some kids and do cocaine around him, will y'all give us a shit ton of money?
Yeah, he was making hand over fist cash. What the fuck, man? These are the charges against you. Child endangerment is what Kayla's being charged with. They got their kids taken away because of a drug raid on their house, and people are throwing 20s and $30 donations at him. Jesus fucking Christ, we're in the wrong business. We should be shady fucking lawyers.
Yeah, no shit. Get some cheap side piece of ass and some cocaine, and we'll be rolling in money, man.
Right?
Damn,
we're word cocaine.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe I could do some baking soda. Would that work? Just make the kids smell better?
Maybe.
We'll do baking powder just to be, a little bit more edgy.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody snort baking powder. Do not do anything. We're joking here for anybody who's not smart.
Yeah, if you're stupid, it's a joke.
How do you... Okay. Nick makes a big point of this, and we'll get to it. Hopefully, we'll be able to watch it. My internet's being real shit tonight, guys. Like, worse than usual. So hopefully we'll get to see some of the stream because it's really bad. But Nick was arrested. There was coke there. And Nick is like, we got to prove it through the legal system. And legally, that is true. He 100% has the presumption of innocence in the court system. He may beat the charges in the court system.
Good thing I'm not in the court system.
Yeah,
I can make whatever opinion I fucking want.
I'm not a fucking judge. You were arrested and they found 26 grams of coke in your house. And if that document is true, your 9-year-old had coke in her system. Your 9-year-old. And you fucking assholes are out there throwing money hand over fist at this guy to tell him how much, oh, you're such a good guy, Nick. I've been watching you. I actually saw it. I've been watching you since Rittenhouse. That long ago, really. You're an old timer. I've been watching you since Rittenhouse, and I can't believe people talking about you like this. Nobody'd be talking about him like this if he hadn't been arrested for coke.
Yeah. One of the other things I found interesting in this, well, first of all, Nick did vaguely allude to this possibly being a real document.
Yes, he does, but he never outright says it.
Yeah.
What he also doesn't do is say that document is fake.
Yeah, he said some what was it? Personal information was released, something like that.
He said personal documents about my family were leaked. I believe is the exact quote. We'll watch it.
Yeah,
it's coming up in a few minutes.
Well, one of the interesting things that people aren't looking at in this is that he revoked, both him and Kayla did, according to this document, revoked their release of information.
Yep.
So that forces them to, that would have allowed them to be drug tested. So that forced the judge to impose drug testing in the document. If this is accurate, we have to keep making that disclaimer because I don't want to fucking argue with everybody in chat.
And look, there is still a chance it's not. But should we see what Nick said about it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have to preface this a couple of things. One, it might be shit just because of my internet. Two, Nick is having some audio. Well, I don't even think it was audio. I think it was just Rumble problems as he was starting his stream and talking about this. So it's what he says gets broken up over a little bit. Don't worry, we'll watch it all. But the other part of it is I was shocked by how angry he was during this.
I was shocked by how much he deflected to say the government, over and over again, and try and blame them. Like, dude, maybe. Sorry,
go ahead.
I'm gonna stop and we'll just watch the clips because
I was gonna say he's doing the lawyer thing.
Yeah, it was just enraging.
But I was very shocked that he came out so angry. He gets very happy once the dollary dues are being read off.
Yeah.
He chills out and relaxes and enjoys himself a little bit, which I'm not begrudging him enjoying himself a little bit, just not as much as he was, with kids around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the kids are gone, why petition to have your kids brought back when they're just buzzkills? Feed me, wash me, daddy. I need new clothes. Blah blah blah. Little Buzz Killingtons.
I do not give a good goddamn that he was doing coke. If it was just him and his wife and his little side piece there, cool. I don't care.
Yeah,
they did it with the kids around them.
Yeah, and one of the kids had it in their system, allegedly. That's enraging to me.
Yeah.
No 9-year-old should ever be found with drugs in their system that weren't prescribed by a doctor, and doctors don't prescribe cocaine.
Not anymore.
No.
It's been a while since they did that.
Yeah, but that was back when it was new and fun.
Yeah. Now it's not new, and some people think it's fun.
Yeah, now it's fun in the wrong ways.
It is interesting to note he got rid of all of the alcohol, which I had this thought, right? He keeps preaching this innocent until government's just coming for me. You're trying to make it seem like there's no case here. Why'd you need to get rid of the alcohol?
Yeah, if there's no case, what'd you do that for?
Why are you cleaning up if there was no reason, really? I mean, you just lost a bunch of weight from a disease that didn't let you eat for 6 months or something. I forget his exact reason for that, but he lost all that money because or all that weight because he had some sickness that made it so he just couldn't eat.
The sniffles is known to make you lose some weight. I mean, I lost like 10 pounds on COVID over the course of a week, but I'm pretty fat, so it wasn't that hard. I didn't eat for most of that time.
Typically, if you have something like that, that weight bounces right back.
Oh yeah, it's right back in my
It's right
belly.
back. I personally would have went with Taco Bell diarrhea. Been like, no, I've been eating. I'm not drinking at all. I just have Taco Bell every day for lunch. And when you eat Taco Bell every day for lunch, you get Montezuma's revenge. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
It's a more, acceptable answer, in my opinion. Anyway, so here he is. He's going to explain.
Now, as I'm sure many of you know, I'm sure many of you know, after I announced I'd be streaming tonight, some sensitive documents were released about my family.
Now, see, that's not him saying they're absolutely true, but it really does give that impression. That's not him saying this is one of the, that those are real documents. He said there's sensitive documents released about my family.
Yeah, but it's also not a denial.
It's not. Oh, he doesn't deny it at all.
He's not saying these are fake. There was a bunch of fake stuff put out on QE Farms. No, I mean, if this is real documentation, somebody's probably going to jail over this because this is not the type of document that would be released unredacted like this.
He didn't say they were true, but he didn't say they were false. Exactly. And this really does give the impression. He doesn't say fake documents were released about he says sensitive documents were released.
Yeah, it's a very selective word choice that could play both sides. And he was riding the fence harder than Tim Pool at a fence post party.
If they were fake, he can easily say they were fake. Yeah, he could. See, he also keeps talking about he'll get to it if we watch that far. You're not you can't say anything, which the lawyers do tell you that. You can do. It's not true. None of it's true. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
I believe that is actually pronounced. It's not true.
It's not true. I can't do the Ralph thing.
I can't either. Oh, we said his name. You got a pill bottle handy? We got to shake it to ward off the Ralph now.
There you go.
Oh, thank God. I don't want to be haunted by the gunt.
Long gone are the days of morphine, cocaine, opium, cough syrup. Probably for the best. Indeed. Laudanum. That's what it took. Wyatt Earp's one wife. Drug addict bitch. Anyhow. It's not true. I can't even do it. I wish I could. He doesn't deny it, but he does say sensitive documents were released, which gives the opinion or the impression that these are accurate. And Jack, let's say for a minute you're a dad. I know you're not, that you know of. But you're a father and your 9-year-old was caught with coke in her system and you were caught with 26 grams strewn about your house, mostly in your bedroom. And that all leaks as you're getting ready to do a stream. Do you do the stream?
Probably not. But if I'm an arrogant junkie, I might, because I think I can, no matter what, I can talk my way out of it. Or I could just, dance on the fence and never address it, and people still throw super berries at me. Also, because that's the addict mentality, is like, I'm cunning enough to get out of it. But yeah, I mean, normal people would be like either denying that it's true or not do the stream, just cancel it. But
yeah,
if you're that wrapped up in your own ego, then maybe I could see that happening.
Sorry, hitting my inhaler again. Just wheezing a little tiny bit here. Somebody asked me, I think it was Wade, about Masterson's response. I don't pay much attention to Dick Masterson. I don't know what he said about it. Dick Masterson is a shit stirrer he's like Jim, but retarded and not funny. He tries to laugh at the bullshit that's going on. It's amazing how many bad friends he's had.
Yeah. I would actually go a little further and say he takes it well beyond anything Jim would do. Jim likes to laugh at dum-dums.
That's why I
Dick
said retarded.
Dick takes stuff into real life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a much different approach to how you mock somebody in between the two.
So basically, Maddox was correct about him. I don't remember everything about the Maddox-Masterson fight. I know Maddox did a lot of really stupid shit. Both of them can be assholes. It's not like there's a limit on the number of assholes in each situation. You can have more than one. Anyhow, let's let Nick not defend himself.
And everybody wants me to address.
This is going to keep happening for a couple of minutes. He'll go to say something and get distracted. I've been there. You know, you're trying to get something done and the internet's just not working, or the site, in this case, Rumble, was giving him problems. I apologize. We'll just have to deal.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, we're fucking kidding you.
Copy. I'm retarded?
Yes.
Based on the previous statement, yes.
Based on everything we've learned, you, sir, are retarded.
There we go. Jesus Christ.
I do sympathize with him a little there because I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good time to remind everybody that we're brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't. If you want us to have not these problems, give us money. It won't really fix anything, but we'll have more money, and that'll make us happy because we got bills and shit. I just thought a good show was appropriate right there.
Sure, why not?
It's like I haven't done this in a while. I'm almost set. I promise. I promise you a really shitty show is coming. Just hold on as I get everything ready.
This is weird to me. I got to be honest, though, because, I mean, he was already like 40 minutes late to the stream.
And something getting warmed up, if you know what I'm saying.
It was all ready. I was actually ready well in advance.
I've been there. Yeah, sure.
But the great thing about this is everybody wants you to they want you to address everything. And so I'll have to address everything in a very specific way, because I don't know if you guys know, but there are certain charges and allegations against me at the moment. And I have to talk in very specific ways about those things. Typically,
there's only one specific way that anybody's looking for, and that's, this isn't true. You can say that instead of hiding behind legalese and they have to prove it in a court of law. How about it's not true? How about instead of you guys think you know, how about it's not true? There's no defense lawyer out there that I can think of, or maybe there's a way that I'm just not putting together. But I can't imagine any lawyer would be like, how dare you go on your podcast and say you didn't break the law?
Yeah.
Do you realize how you fucked this case by saying you didn't break the law on that stream?
Yeah, with your denial.
Yeah, you need to be careful and not incriminate yourself. But saying, hey, those documents that came out, those are fake. Those are not real. You could do that, and no lawyer's going to be like, dude. I mean, unless they are actually real. But no lawyer's going to be like, how dare you accurately deny that? Are you out of your mind? They're going to tack on 5 years for that.
Not talking about them is what I have to do. but I have to talk a little bit about them.
No, you don't. You don't have to at all. You're doing it because this looked really bad. Josh Moon kind of nudged you into this. This has Josh's fingerprints all over it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know what? Thanks for the content, Josh.
Yeah, no shit. For those who don't know, Josh Moon, he's the guy who runs Kiwi Farms. An anonymous account that was just created today dropped those documents, Jack.
Yeah, it's obviously a burner account. And thank you to St. Fugi for bringing this to my attention. I don't know if he brought this to yours, but Fugi is on top of shit, man. That guy knows what he's doing.
I saw it right as he was sending it to me.
Nice.
Because I talk in public for a living and people want to know what's going on, obviously. Why is it on this other fucking channel?
Don't worry, this
Rumble
gets
right
fixed
now
in a minute.
is really pissing me off.
Hey, Nuts, how you doing, sweetie?
It doesn't matter.
Hey, Stargazer.
We're just gonna do this. I'm gonna talk for a minute, very briefly, and then we'll I'm gonna read the chats and then we'll go. This is not gonna be a long stream.
Is his hairline like seriously receding?
Yes, I think it is.
That could be the stress of what's going on, man. Because look, I won't take this from him. I have no doubt that he's stressed about this. I would be too if I was facing any kind of prison time.
Yeah, and he's facing 2 decades, which he's not going to get for a first-time offender. But still, it's on the books. It's a possibility, no matter how remote.
If it's true that drugs were found in his kid's system, that might change things a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they're going to probably add on some more charges later. They can always amend the complaint. Real quick, though. Thank you, Keldrick. Nick is really setting himself up to fail by continuing to conduct himself like this. Yeah, I think that the fence sitting and the dancing around, the way he was phrasing things early on is just going to confirm whatever you already believe. So it might actually make some people turn against him too, but he didn't deny it. He didn't affirm that the document was real. I think that's a really dangerous game to play when you're looking at charges like these.
Faithless said he's contemplating his future gender transition. Look, if I'm him, I come out as a woman right now, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
I ain't going to men's prison. I'm too pretty.
Could be a much longer stream, but first, the release of information that's supposed to be protected.
Now, see right there again, that gives the release of information is supposed to be protected. That sounds like he's talking specifically about the document that came out today.
Yeah.
But he goes on and talks about several of the court documents.
Well, a lot of the court documents are public domain.
Oh, sure.
So that's kind of silly. But the one that just came out today is what everybody's thinking he's talking about.
And this is why I'm being very careful to point out it could still that could be a fake document.
It could be fake. It could be partly real. It could be, completely real. We don't know. And we're probably not going to know until those court dates come up that are listed on there.
There's so many people, though, that say he said that they're real. He doesn't actually do that, is all I'm pointing out here. He's very lawyerly about this, actually.
Yeah.
At a very specific time, right after I announce a show and right before the show starts is something that is concerning. And, of course, I will have a lawyer looking into that right away.
And that right there, that's all but saying, yes, it's true.
Yeah, for me, that is his admitting that it's likely a real document.
Yeah, whether it's true, I shouldn't say true, that it is legitimate. That doesn't mean that it's actually true, blah, blah, blah. He's going to get it into in a minute. But, yeah, without just coming out and saying, yes, they're real.
Yeah.
He says they're real.
To me, that's him saying that at least in some part of this is accurate.
There'd be no reason to involve a lawyer if it's not real.
Yeah, why would you need a lawyer to shoot down some nonsense on the internet. What could he call the cyber police next?
Can we just talk about how Barnes is going to grab this though?
Oh yeah.
See, there's people out to get him.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy by the reptilians.
Hey, all that means is his 9-year-old had coke in her system, bro.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it shouldn't be leaked. I don't know this. Okay, we need to talk about that real quick. The guy who leaked these was asked about them because if you go online to the Minnesota case lookup, I forget what it's called exactly. But if you go over there, you cannot find this because it's juvenile involved.
It's juvenile. It's a protective order. So,
but
yeah,
they said
about child placement specifically.
Yeah, but they said that you can go into any courthouse and use an internal system. Anybody can do this, they say, and pull it up and look at it in there. And apparently, somehow, somebody Xeroxed a 1982 copy of it. Why is the quality such shit?
It looks like a mimeograph, did it?
It does.
Like, did you rob a elementary school teacher from 1978 while you were doing this? Because, Jesus. And it's obviously a screenshot on top of that because you can see the cursor, too.
Yeah.
It's quite possible that this is on some internal server, but if there's a public version of it, it's going to be highly redacted. So I think if you're a lawyer, you probably could have access to this, but it's not for general consumption, not the version we're seeing.
Again, I have no idea because I don't live there. Otherwise, I would go look.
Yeah.
Not because I want to, just to verify, right?
Yeah. I mean, we already know all these kids' names and everything from the previous documents.
Yeah. So anyway, 9-year-old had drugs in their system. Yeah, they tested positive for coke. According to documents that Nick is basically confirming without just saying yes, they're real. He all but says yes, they're real. But again, he could always, oh no, I misspoke there. I was actually talking about all the other documents, which he gets into here in a second. But
I know people want to draw conclusions from whatever's going on. And look, there's no way around it. There's nothing to say other than people will get to draw their conclusions from what they read. I'm not here to fight you guys at all. I'm not here to fight your conclusions. I'm not here to fight or justify or prove anything. I don't need to do that for you.
Gee whiz. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm glad I'm allowed to have an opinion. That sounds so arrogant right there.
I don't need to do that for you. You're right. In the legal sense, you don't have to do it. But if you were innocent, I have no doubt you would be up here going, I'm innocent. I didn't do this. You wouldn't be like, hey, I don't owe you guys any defense. This is lawyerly bullshit is what this is.
Believe it or not, a lot of really well-meaning friends want me to do that. And these people are lawyers, which is shocking. They want me. I'll say it this way. They say, Nick, you need to do X, Y, and Z because of your YouTube channel and your online image. And my response is, sir, madam, I don't know if you know this, but the lowest priority in my life right now is my public image for the purposes of YouTube and Rumble.
Really? Then why are you streaming now?
Thank you.
And why aren't you denying that this document is true or accurate if you don't give a shit about your public image? Because you come on and you're still doing a stream, raking in buttloads of money, but you don't care about your image. But you come in and have this little tirade about, oh yeah, sensitive information. Fuck off, dude.
Can y'all hear asshole the cricket out there?
I can't hear him over my toaster oven.
Okay, cool. Is my pause game not the best?
It is really solid. Man, out of context, he looks a little drunk there.
I wish I'd had that for the thumbnail because that's awesome. Anyway, it would have been deceptive though, and I'd feel bad about being deceptive to a lawyer.
Oh yeah, I mean, God forbid we make lawyers look bad.
Eagle says I did a second. Yeah, Asshole the Cricket is back, so he'll be hanging around for the summer.
I thought it was a smoke
So any of
detector.
you who want me to come out here and like do some weird grandiose apology or prostrate myself in front of you, let me just help you with my public image right now. Fuck you.
Oh, that's a good way to approach your fans. Fuck you.
Look, you don't owe me an apology, Nick. You owe your children one.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't owe me shit. I'm commenting on this because it's out in the public domain. It's in our sphere, and I enjoy internet drama. There's a lot of real stuff that needs taken care of there long before you ever think about what my opinion of it is. That part's fair. Him saying that I don't give a fuck about my online image, that's actually the right way to be. It's just not true. Because if it was true, you wouldn't be here for the next 20 minutes yelling about people talking about you.
Yeah, it comes off as a bit childish and like a high schooler. You know, like, I don't care what you think, man. I'm edgy and cool. You like me now, right?
Right in your goddamn mouth.
Ew.
I'm not here to worry about what you think about me. And that should be obvious to damn near anybody. And if
So give me money.
Okay. By your own account, and I don't know if we'll watch this far into this, but by your own account, you were coming on here to just do a fun, normal Nick stream. And instead, you go into this diatribe yelling at people because they think you should, not go out there and make things worse. You might want to go out there and deny at least something.
No,
And
suckers and rubes, they don't know.
Yeah, you clearly care. There are few things that are more annoying to me than people who'd say, I don't even care, when they clearly do.
Yeah.
Like, just be honest. You do care about this. This is your livelihood. You're not making a lot of money as a streamer. Now, I don't know if you saw I think it was it Turkey Tom? Either Turkey Tom or Willie Mack did a video. I think it was Turkey Tom, where they talked that Nick is actually fairly wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with his legal practice and nothing to do with his YouTube. He's just a rich kid. So good on him for that. But he does do this, and he did make a lot of money from doing this, and he does it for the attention like we all do. I don't care if you like me. Yeah, you do. Stop pretending.
We also do it for the crippling poverty.
if you think it's in my character to come out and grovel before you and say, oh, I'm so sorry I let you down. I didn't let you down.
How about I'm so sorry I got my 9-year-old hooked on coke? No? Oh, yeah, that might get you in trouble with the lawyers. No, you could apologize for being a douchebag. Now, you don't actually owe it to anybody. It might be a nice thing to do for the people who keep defending your dumb ass.
Yeah. But no, I'm above this YouTube thing. Ugh. Spoken like somebody that doesn't care about their job. Or really
I didn't
does.
pick you up. I didn't make you, and I didn't make promises to you. So if you feel let down by me, let yourself down from the stool, Robin Williams. I'm not here for you.
Yes, you are. Q, thank you. The viewable at court terminal comports with my understanding of the Minnesota Data Practices Act. I requested Nick's search warrant under that law. Police responded with an offer to inspect in person. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
I'm I'm not here to own your feelings, and I'm not here to apologize to your feelings and sensibilities.
How about
either.
I understand why you guys are let down by what you've heard. And frankly, if I like somebody, I'd be let down by this too. How about something like that? Instead,
No.
he's angry.
Yeah, he's very angry. How dare you come at me with this? How dare you question me? That's I do what I want. I am not beholden to you. There's a lot of copium here.
You don't even have to admit any wrongdoing to say that. Look, if I was hearing the stuff you're hearing about me, I would be disappointed too. I get it, guys.
Yeah.
That's not an admission of guilt, and it's not being a prick going, "Oh no, you guys shit." April put her finger in my butt. Anyway.
And if I did, you shouldn't respect me, because anybody who comes out like a little fucking bitch and says, I really am worried about my public image, not my family.
Wait a minute. What you're doing right now is you trying to maintain your public image. You just said it. Anybody who knows me, if you guys know me, you mean your public image? That the thing that we know you for, your public image? Most people watching you haven't hung out with you and had a drink and a snort. But I love this. I don't care about my public image. If you guys knew my public image, you shouldn't like me if I did what you want me to do, because that's not my public image.
If you don't care about your public image, why are you A, doing this stream, and B, why are you trying to maintain your public image? Also, have you seen people with bad public images? Jarbo, Wings Redemption.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. They all have a redemption arc that lasts for a day.
Like, say what you will about Jarbo. He doesn't have any 9-year-olds with Coke systems.
No, that's fair. I mean, he just tried knocking up an underage girl at a church. Go watch the video from Jim on Jarbo if you don't know that story.
Not my liberty, not holding government accountable, none of that. But my public image, how my
Go ahead.
Holding the government accountable.
Yeah.
That's a theme we're going to see over and over again with him.
Public image, well, you're probably a fat Canadian or maybe a skinny Canadian.
You seem awful concerned about how they view your public image.
Yeah, for somebody that doesn't care and is like,
at
fuck
all.
You, he keeps talking about it, so clearly he cares.
Can't fly to the right city. Or maybe you're a doughy Minnesotan. I don't know who you are, but I'm not here to apologize to you or for anything. I am under the thumb of government at the moment, which means
you're under indictment is what you mean.
No, it's the thumb of government. The government is coming after me, and they're trying to make me look bad with these charges of wrongdoing. How dare they tell me what I can and can't give my children for lunch? Maybe cocaine is the breakfast of champions. We don't know.
Scott says, fellas, it's clearly overreacting when the government cares about how much blood is in your daughter's Coke system. Oh, we should not joke about that. I can't help it though.
He's turning this into a clown show.
He is.
He's sitting there bitching about the government trying to oppress him in some vague, nebulous, conspiratorial way, but at the same time, not denying that this document is accurate that says that his child had Coke in her system.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for an apology, but my God, man, yeah. This is why I forget who said it, and I'm not meaning to point you out and be mean to you or anything, because if you thought a lot of it was fine, that's great, because the end of it actually is when he gets into, at least from what I saw of it, the responses to super chats, he lightens up and he's like old Nick. But this part of it is just bad. It's really, really bad. He would have been better off just canceling the show and letting Kiwi Farms take the win. Yeah, you guys got me on that one. You got me to cancel my show. And
I don't think his ego will permit that.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
government gets to say whatever they want about me, and I don't get to respond.
Again, there is nothing stopping you from going, I have not done any of this.
Yeah, isn't he right now responding to it in a way on his platform that has hundreds of thousands of followers?
I saw Marion Barry yell, "Bitch, set me up." They didn't charge him for saying that. He was caught with crack and hookers. Yelled out in front of cameras, "Bitch, set me up." They didn't. You're allowed to deny it. You're absolutely allowed to deny it.
That's a shit place.
In fact, Donald Trump does it almost daily. He calls it a witch hunt, says they're making it all up. You're allowed to deny it.
Yeah, Nick is not under a gag order either.
No. So this whole thing, I can't say anything. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can absolutely say whatever the fuck you want.
Probably shouldn't lie, which might be why you can't say anything.
Yeah, because they're totally going to use this against you.
It's to be. We've talked about it a lot on this show. What's funny is a lot of my colleagues have talked a lot about it too. But the moment it happens, they all tuck their nuts up into their own assholes and become the biggest pack of fucking gabbling women I've ever seen.
Okay, I haven't kept up with LawTube since we last talked about this, Jack. So I'm not sure who he's talking about.
I think he's talking about that
legal mindset.
I can't remember their names. Yeah, that guy, and there's the fat criminal guy.
Criminally something.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget. Yeah.
But I think he talked about those guys. I think he expected a much more unified front to support him.
And maybe Nate Flint, because Nate is another one. It mostly seems aimed at potentially criminal. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's mostly aimed at legal mindset, which is part of the Barnes thing. For some reason, they've made him their Voldemort.
Yeah, because he's actually like vocal about, not supporting Nick.
Yeah.
So
Nick fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, but why does Nick expect a bunch of lawyers who are the shadiest people on the fucking planet to all congregate around him and circle the wagons? That is incredibly arrogant.
The funny part is they all came out and said, "Nick, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about this at all." And now he's saying, they're saying I need to come out and defend my image. I don't know what he's referring to. Maybe there was a stream I missed where that's what they said. So I honestly don't know if there's any meat there. But even if there was, why is that where you're going?
Again, I think it's his arrogance and maybe a little bit of paranoia.
I think it's a little bit of feeling betrayed too, which I believe you brought up a second ago, or somebody did. He thought they were all just going to circle the wagons for him and be like, "It's Nick, he's our boy," and the ones who dared went, "This is nonsense." And then, like Nate getting Nate the lawyer, for those who don't know who it is, Nate getting blocked by Barnes for simply saying Barnes' nonsense was nonsense. The same shit we said, but from an actual lawyer.
Yeah,
a former cop, lawyer, and judge. Even he's going, "This guy's just making shit up."
I mean, what would that guy know?
Yeah, what the fuck would he know?
Running around, come out, apologize, bow down, bow, beg.
If anybody has the stream where Legal Mindset says anything that could be taken this way, could you hit me on Twitter? Just drop it in my DMs. Because I'd be interested to see it, because I can't believe that they came out and recommended Nick talking.
I can't imagine any lawyer saying that.
All of them have told him to shut the fuck up. Anyway.
Everybody, that you're sorry. For what? What am I sorry for?
Well, apparently nothing.
Giving coke to your 9-year-old?
Leaving it laying around where a 9-year-old could find it and ingest it? Being irresponsible with your guns and drugs? I mean, I don't know. Maybe having your third whore around to...
we should point this out too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's right.
When it came to the coke, they actually did the hair test, not, as far as I know, not blood test.
No,
So
they
we
did
don't
hair
know.
follicle test.
Yeah, the hair follicle test. For those of you who don't know, they can track drugs in your system years back, depending on how long your hair is.
Yeah, and depending on what drugs it is, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So we don't know how soon to the arrest this child had the cocaine. Anyhow, yeah, how about that? What should I be sorry for? Really? I thought you were a lawyer. Okay. We just do things differently here in Minnesota.
I guess.
Everybody's kids is hopped up on coke. Oh my good God. Rekieta's coked up 9-year-old.
You knew that was coming.
Rekieta's coked up 9-year-old. Thank you so very much. But Uncle Monkey, Daddy said the booger sugar takes the edge off of him. So of course I'll be just fine. It'll be just fine for me. Besides, I really like skiing powdered slopes and making snow angels in the yard. Oh, quick homework question. How do you spell tachycardia? Well played indeed. Oh my God. I can't believe you made me say tachycardia. How dare you? You made me read tachycardia. That's just cruel.
And funny.
And hey, I said it though.
You did, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
They don't know what I'm supposed to be sorry for. I don't know what I'm supposed to be sorry for.
Then you need Jesus. I hear you used to go to a church. It's time to go back.
And pay attention this time.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be sorry for. All I did was have guns and blow strewn across the dirty house. We weren't feeding the kids. They stank. And the middle child was doing coke with us. I don't know. You guys are just really judgmental.
Yeah, how dare you judge those stinky kids that don't change their clothes and their drug habits. Maybe the kids gave Nick the drugs. Have you thought of that?
Maybe they saw how much weight Dad lost and were like, I won't be hungry on it.
And I'll have lots of energy. Real quick, though, thank you, Circus Zero. The only thing I've heard Legal Mindset say is if Nick gets a plea deal that has no jail time, he might want to take considering the time he might be facing.
Oh,
yeah.
if he gets offered no jail time, you take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's still the possibility that if he's put on like probation, that time will still be hanging over his head. So if he fucks up again, he'll be doing some time. But I think that Nick is at the point now where he is arrogant and not even considering the fact that he might go to jail. He's not looking at it at all. I think he thinks he's going to beat this completely, and his reputation will be magically restored.
Keisha says, I'm just home from a long stay at a recovery center. I have another surgery coming up. Well, I hope it goes well and that you recover quickly.
Absolutely.
Sucks. All right.
What I know is the government has accused me of some criminal acts.
Wait. You also know whether or not you did them. Let's be honest here, Nikki. I know they've accused me of criminal acts. You know whether you did it. Jack, if the government comes to my house tomorrow and accuses me of snorting cocaine with my 9-year-old, I can say without a doubt, never happened.
Yeah.
They could even charge me with it, and I would know whether or not it's true. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he was too high to know he had all the drugs.
Maybe he was too high to know that kid's 9.
There's
this new guy and his little party midget. And I was like, you want some coke, little party midget? And the kid was like, I stink, daddy. And he's like, that's a yes. Come on, party midget.
It just reminds me of you recently rewatched Always Sunny.
Oh,
the episode where Bill Ponderosa wants to die. And so they go talk to his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to put cocaine in my omelet. Anyway. Oh my God. What if Nick watched that and was so high he thought it was funny and fed his kid a Coke omelet?
I mean, with addicts, sometimes you just never know.
Oh God, I hope it was.
Yeah, but I like how he's constantly using the nebulous government, trying to frame
Government.
them like they're up to something. It sounds so conspiratorial. I'm
Look,
the victim here.
I'm not a fan of the government. We all know there's corrupt police and DAs and blah, 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 blah. You got busted with 26 grams of coke in your house. This isn't like you were driving down the street and that one cop, I'm sure you've seen the videos of him, who was planning it on all these people who were innocent, and they actually caught him on his own fucking body cam.
Yeah, because he's a dumbass.
Yeah, that's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at, they had piles of coke laid out. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Nick has a very distinctive nose. You could pick it a mile away, indeed. Sorry, I stepped on you there, my friend.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
All right.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be sorry for. What I know is the government has accused me of some criminal acts. Those criminal acts have impacted me and my family.
It's an interesting way he said that. Not those accusations. Those criminal acts have impacted my family. Tell it on yourself there. See, this is why they tell you, shut the fuck up, Nick. You just admitted to the criminal acts.
Either that or he's saying the government is criminal for coming after him.
No, not with the context, because he used it right next to each other. They've accused me of criminal acts. These criminal acts have destroyed my family.
Yeah, how dare you find out about stuff I'm doing and come after me? How dare you? Do you know who I am? That's what this sounds like. This sounds like he has learned nothing from this. He is trying to weasel out of it. And there's no responsibility at all. He is playing victim. And on top of that, I think he's getting a little bit conspiratorial here.
Oh, he gets a lot conspiratorial. But let's listen to it one more time where Nick accidentally admits that he's guilty.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be sorry for. What I know is the government has accused me of some criminal acts. Those criminal acts have impacted me and my family.
Not the accusation, which is what he probably meant to say, but you know.
Yeah, but
this is why they say not to talk.
Yeah, because the prosecutor and the cops will use everything you say against you, no matter what the context is.
He won't come out and deny it, but he'll accidentally admit it. Whoopsie.
Yeah, the fact there's no denial is really upsetting. But I kept, when I saw this part here, I kept waiting for him to demand to see an admiral.
Oh, yeah.
He's starting to sound like a sovereign citizen.
Excuse me. Are you an admiral? I only recognize the laws of the sea. Anyway.
I was traveling in my land boat.
Did you know that movement's only like from the 70s?
Yeah, it's real. The dude that found it's still alive.
Yeah. That's weird.
He's a crackpot too. Have you ever seen him?
Yes, I have. But forget Nick for briefly mention the passing of Willie Mays. Willie Mays, for those of you who are baseball fans, passed away today at 93 years old. Or was it 94? This was a great baseball player and a decent man from everything I know about him. And one of the greats and one of the color breakers. He used to play in the Negro Leagues before he came into the MLB. And it's a true legend has died. If you guys don't know anything about Willie Mays and you enjoy sports at all, you need to look up who Willie Mays is and do your homework. Yes, effing chats for respect for Willie, man, because damn.
I didn't realize he was still alive.
I hope I make it to 93, man.
His skin's all paper thin though, and you start going kind of crazy, and I don't know.
The guy from the shopping channel, did Willie Mays sell stuff on the shopping channel? I wouldn't blame him for it.
That's the wrong Willie Mays.
No, that's Billy Mays.
Yeah. Well, which is, William Mays. So right here with the Flexi Seal.
The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Anyway.
Yeah, that's probably who I was thinking of because he died of a drug overdose.
Yes.
Which ironically I think was cocaine.
Willie Mays was a rare athlete, and even in today's game, he would be an even rarer athlete because the game has just gotten more and more specialized. Now you have hitters, you have sluggers, you have fielders. You know, people are good at some of this other stuff, but they're great at one thing. He was great at everything. And seriously, one of the best to ever play the game, and may he rest in peace. Anyway, back to this degenerate who just admitted to, coke.
The accusation from government is not a conviction. It may convict you in the eyes of people, and that's fine.
Well,
Apparently
thank
not.
you.
Apparently it's not, though, because he's been sitting here bitching about it for 20 minutes.
Actually, it's only been like 10. We've really paused a lot.
That's because we're awesome. Every frame of pause, amateur hour.
Pussies.
If I'm convicted in your eyes, good.
What? If I'm convicted in your eyes, good? For somebody who doesn't want, who doesn't care about their public reputation, you really are trying to come off as a badass here. Good. What the fuck does that even mean? If you think I'm guilty, good. Well,
maybe he's trying to taint the jury pool.
Christ. I'm not even saying you got to be humble. How about just not being a douche? Seriously, he never should have fired up this stream.
Go find someone else.
Is he trying to go to jail? I think so.
I really think he's just this arrogant that he thinks he could beat these charges and he could be the biggest asshole on the fucking planet. He's sort of doing what Eric July was doing with the I'm from the streets, I'm badass.
Oh, yeah.
Putting up this false persona, and it's not helping him. It didn't help Eric either, by the way.
Yeah, but see, Eric was just facing some backlash from people who didn't like his comic book and the way he's a jackass on Twitter. Nick is facing backlash from people who are upset that his 9-year-old had coke in her.
You're now validated.
Thank you.
I bid you adieu.
I'm not going.
I'm sorry I let you down by never promising anything and doing something that you didn't approve of, maybe. Except that thing that I'm supposed to have done still remains to be seen.
You just admitted it. Twice, actually. You added allegedly or whatever it was at the end there the second time. But you admitted it twice now in like a minute's time. It remains to be seen. Okay. Nick, let me ask you a question. Because I'm sure you're not going to watch this. We're not that big, Jack, that anybody cares about this, except for the wonderful people watching us, guys, and we do thank you for that.
Absolutely. You guys are awesome.
What if the body cam footage comes out, Nick, and we clearly see the mounds of white powder, which actually was in 3 baggies, if I remember correctly, corner baggies.
And the little bullets too, the little one-shot deals.
Yeah, the bullet on the casing on the floor. You had the
no. They're called bullets. It's a one-time use thing. You put up your nose and store it.
Gotcha. Just a nice little bump.
Yeah.
But they also had the casing, which we hinted to something that could have been used for.
Yeah.
We're not giving anybody any ideas around here.
No, we do know that.
we see the powder covered kitchen scale in the bathroom. When we see all of this, can we then say you're guilty whether you're convicted or not? I really do believe that, in the American legal system, OJ got away with murder. He did, and he shouldn't have gone to jail because that's the way our system works.
Yep.
And yes, Nick, you may beat these charges, but that does not mean you're not guilty. It just doesn't. Dangerous, thank you. 8-hour shift looking after kids. And what do I come home to? A monk stream, which is awesome. This reminds me of my cousin Vinny. I shot the clerk. Even a lawyer may say incriminating stuff. Indeed. I shot the clerk. Whoa. I fucking love that movie.
That is a great movie.
It's awesome. And it's a rare win for a comedic actor because Marissa Tomei won for Best Supporting that year.
Yeah, she deserved it too. That was one of her best films.
Plus, she's wearing the stretch pants. Keldrick, thank you so much. He must be an excellent contortionist because he shoved his head up his ass and put his foot in his mouth at the same time. Yes.
Well, sometimes when you're huffing your own farts, you get a little too into it and you fully wrap yourself around into an Ouroboros of ass sniffery.
Remember, kids, not guilty doesn't mean innocent. And true. And look, under our code of justice, it means the same thing as innocent. But whether you did it or not, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, and people are allowed to make their own judgments. They don't. You're not bound by that as a citizen. Like, you must accept it. No, you can think somebody's guilty.
And there's times when we can look at cases like, say, the Rittenhouse one. He's found not guilty. Does that mean he didn't murder anybody? No, the footage means he didn't murder anybody. It was all caught on tape. So, I mean, there's times where we look at a decision and go, see, it validates what we already all knew. And then there's times we look at it and go, OJ definitely killed that bitch. He just got away with it. Anyhow, he leans real heavily into this lawyer talk.
But I will say this. I will be holding government to its full accountability to the extent of my rights. And anybody who thinks I shouldn't do that, okay. I don't know what law channels you're watching. Probably a cockeyed Koreans or something.
I'm pretty sure that was a hit, Illegal Mindset.
Probably.
Someone who doesn't understand the value of innocence until proven guilt. Someone who doesn't understand.
Or somebody who understands futility.
Oh, he's just flexing. I am the best lawyer around. I am smarter than all of you.
I hope Barnes represents him. That would be so great.
Oh my God, they'd have to televise this because it'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Understand the value of constitutional rights. Or maybe people who just like to talk really big about not listening to government until the government comes knocking. Then suddenly they're fucking pussies.
All right. If you're guilty, which you are, and they come to you and say, hey, dude, we have this deal for you. You got to go do some drug rehab. You got to take some parenting classes. You got to take drug checks with a parole officer every 6 months or every 3 weeks or whatever it turns out to be. And you get to stay out of jail. You take that fucking offer. Because the other possibility is you get convicted and no, you're probably not going to do the 25 years. But especially with them finding drugs in your kid, there's a good chance you're going to do a couple.
Yeah. But no, he's fighting the power, man. He's sticking it to the man.
I'm holding him accountable.
That's why he probably didn't give them the door code, so they had to bash the door in when his kids were in the house. He was sticking it to the man. This sounds very conspiratorial. I'm sorry. Look, most people, when confronted by the government, are concerned about going to jail, but he's talking about fighting the power. You know what that's going to do? That's going to inspire the prosecutor to throw the goddamn book at him.
Yeah.
That's all that's going to do. They're going to hit him with every fucking charge they can now.
At this point, I don't think he's gotten into the conspiratorial. He'll get a little more into it. Right here, he's just where you were a moment ago. I'm the greatest lawyer ever. I will get off for this.
Yeah, you guys are rubes. Don't listen to the suckers. I'm the best ever.
And it's possible you could go to trial. You could end up with a Rekieta jury in there who's like, yeah, we saw him with coke on his nose. The hair test shows his daughter had coke in her system. But damn it, I really like when he gets drunk and pretends to masturbate. It could happen. Or they could say guilty on all counts, and instead of you being Kyle Rittenhouse crying because you got off when you should, you'll be Nick Rekieta crying because you're going to jail when you should. Maybe don't take your own legal advice on this one, Nick.
Running around in the truest definitions of a 90s faggot. Crying.
It wasn't me, YouTube. Wasn't me this time. And while I did say faggy the other day, I didn't drop the OT, so it's a little better.
Prostrating themselves, begging for the leather to put their tongue on, like it's a big chocolate starfish of their local police chief or whatever.
Remember, guys, he doesn't care about his public image.
Sorry. You will never, ever find that attitude from me or my channel.
Okay, I'm really confused about him not caring about his image. This is all image-based, Nick. You're just putting on a front. Do people still say front? Did I just really show how old I am?
Yes, both. I think people still say that because you can put up a front.
It's a facade.
Term. Yeah, it's a facade, if you will.
It's a facade.
No, I think one thing I'm noticing here is he's talking all big and bad about how he's going to fight the government.
Yeah.
You know what the government has the power to do? Take your kids.
Yep.
He hasn't said anything about his kids or trying to get them back. He hasn't said anything about reuniting his family, and that's his focus, is to fight the government so he can get his kids back. No, this is all his ego talking. It's all been about him, nothing about reuniting with his family, nothing about trying to just be left alone, nothing like that. It's just him against the government, man. You know who else talked like that? Fucking Ted Kaczynski, who lived in a fucking shack. You got 5 kids, dude, that have been taken from you by the government, and you have not said one thing about trying to get them back.
Or even like, I can't talk about this because this is my biggest issue right now is reuniting my family.
Yeah.
Or getting my Nut says it's okay. Everyone knows how old you are. That is true. I don't hide that.
Yeah, you're old. You're an old man.
I'll be 50 next year.
Yeah, you filthy old man.
I'll be the sexiest 50-year-old man ever.
Yeah, I've achieved dirty old man status. That's all I cared about. No, I find it very interesting that he hasn't mentioned his kids almost this entire time. He hasn't said anything about trying to get them back or how the government took them away from him. Because if the government is conspiring against him, that's one of the biggest things that government flexes their power on, that people tend to comment on, is the power of child protective services. He hasn't said anything about getting his kids back. It's just been about his public image and his ego and the grand conspiracy by the government. I find that very, very telling.
Sherry says the liquor bottle painting that was a present from Kayla is missing. Yeah, he announced that would be taken out at least temporarily because he doesn't care about his public image, but he wants to make sure that everybody knows he's not as drunk as he used to be. How are you going to sit there and say, I don't care about my public image when you did take that down for the way it looks?
Yeah, and all the liquor bottles.
Fuck. You can legally drink. How come you don't care about how you look? Yeah, we know you like the alcohol.
Baby, he's good. That white thing in the background is a pile of blow.
That's probably a bong.
You will never have me apologize to you for anything in my life other than being late to streams and being generally inept and retarded at running them. I'll apologize for that because I'm guilty of that.
Well, according to what you said a little while ago, you're guilty of the other stuff too, but okay.
But anybody out there speculating right now
that's
about
us.
Whether or not
he's talking to us directly right now, so listen.
Government document is accurate, well, I'll let you determine if government is accurate or not.
Okay, right now, nobody's asking if it's accurate. They're asking if it's real. Those are two entirely different things, Jack. The Trump indictments that we've read, they're real, doesn't make them accurate.
Yeah.
But you see how he does that little sidestep there?
Yeah, very lawyerly.
Because the question is the state saying that your daughter had coke in her system? we're not pronouncing you guilty yet. I think you are, but you know, there's not a court here. There's not 12 people deciding your fate here. We just want to know, is that an accurate document? In that it being real.
Yeah. Castle makes a good point. That his attitude is insufferable.
Yes.
The arrogance is just dripping off of him.
That's why I said, I'm late, but LOL, just noticed no members. No members. But
Don't look at my member.
We had somebody join as a member for month 11 earlier.
Yeah, seal.
It's not up to me. It's up to the government to prove they're accurate.
True.
Well, the body cam footage would be a good step toward evidence, I would think.
You can deny it, though. This is another one of those places where I'm like, but yes, it's up to them to prove it. How come you're not saying it's not true? He dances this whole thing. You know, we'll let him keep doing it.
As for me, I have a lot to say. About what is on documents that have been released. Paper copies of documents released before they're available to the public. That's a little strange. Case files that are protected being accessed by members of the public. That's a little strange. The timing of certain drops.
See, this is what I was getting at earlier, where, I mean, he mentions all these things. He kind of leaves the door open that it could be any of this stuff.
Coming out, that's a little strange. The thinness of a search warrant's probable cause statement, very strange.
I disagree with that entirely. That search warrant was...
Okay. I'm not a lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
But Nick, stop listening to Robert Barnes.
Yeah.
Listen to what Nate said about that search warrant. Fuck.
Yeah. Look, some of the information may have been a little thin, but they had enough to get a search warrant. I'm sorry. If you're a Knicks supporter and you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. There was more than enough there for them to at least do a quick look-see to the house. You didn't have to like it, but they had enough. You don't need a lot for a search warrant.
Isn't it weird that they found the shit right where it was expected to be?
Yeah.
It's not like they went looking for coke in the bedroom because the bedroom was specifically listed on the search warrant.
Yep.
It's not like they went looking for it in the bedroom, didn't find it. One of the officers went to go pee in one of the other bathrooms and found it in the toilet. It was on the fucking nightstand.
Yeah. It's not like they hid this stuff very well. I mean, like most people that are into the drugs, they're not trying to hide it because they don't think they're going to get caught.
But this is kind of the shit that Barnes tried pulling. Search warrants do not have to be airtight. That's the innocent until proven guilty thing.
Yeah.
And reasonable doubt, jury, your peers bullshit. We have a good reason to at least go check this out is all it is.
Yeah, it's literally probable cause,
Yeah.
not a certainty cause.
And a lot of search warrants turn up nothing because they were based on allegations where there was a little smoke, but there was no fire there.
Yeah.
They found a shit ton of fire in your room, dude.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying to hide it in his 9-year-old. Quick, snort all daddy's special powder. Jesus. I really don't want that document to be true, but
I mean, yeah, right.
It does have some believable parts to it. So we can hope it's not true that his kid had drugs in her system. But if it is a real accurate document, that is really damning.
They can use hearsay, small towns. This kind of stuff happens. This happens in big cities too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It probably actually happens a lot more in big cities because it's just you got judges with bigger caseloads, so they're just going to sign warrants that they glance at. So yeah. We've gone over the warrant before. We don't need to relitigate that. You can go back and watch that. But for fuck's sake, man, not denying anything about this new document and then going on this weird tirade about all these quasi-conspiracies. Like, he's doing the Mr. Mystery thing that I fucking hate. I know things, man. I'm not telling you what they are, but I know things.
Nick is going to fight this down to a jury verdict. Who are we to stop him? I will still give you're right. fuck, I hope he takes it to a jury trial. That'll be funny as shit. Although, actually, I don't. I hope he gets his shit cleaned up and the family gets back together and they never have any issues like this again. Because I can't imagine what it's like for those kids right now. Because if that document is true, they're not staying with the grandparents, as we heard. They're actually in foster care.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place for kids to be.
It's really not. I've seen the foster care system in a couple of cities, and it's ugly everywhere. You get a lot of people that are just in it for the money.
Yep.
It's not a healthy environment for young people.
Even if you get into a nice foster home, it's still a new place. Your family's being broken up. Your dad's being arrested. It's not a good thing for these kids.
Yeah, it's very, very traumatic.
I mean, they get to eat now, so that's a good thing. Hopefully.
Yeah, and hopefully get hosed off occasionally and have clean clothes. I suspect that the kids will probably be placed with a relative that can take care of them eventually, but you have to go through the whole process of getting your home inspected and making sure everything's up to snuff for kids to come live with you. Most likely, they're not going to be able to take all 5 kids.
Somebody said the grandparents are the foster parents. That's not what we're hearing. I hope it is, because at least there's some stability there.
Yeah.
But again, that's not what we're hearing. So
yeah, if this document is accurate, it looks like the grandparents are not the current custodians. They may be working toward that goal, but currently they're not.
All right.
But it's not for me to fight these things on YouTube.
True.
And anybody who suggests that I should, or that I have some duty to explain to you my legal strategy, my legal avenues for doing this, or that anything I say or don't say is somehow either an admission or an omission of some duty I owe to the general public. Anyone who's saying that, anyone who is saying that is a lying grifter in the truest, not funny sense of the word.
All right, cocksucker, you just called me a grifter. You literally just admitted to it a little while ago. Twice.
I don't think he owes us his strategy, but he's the guy that always goes on and says, this is how I would have done it. And that's what people expect him to do. Is he's always talking about proper defenses and stuff like that and what he would do. So people have come to expect to hear his opinion on legal matters. And now there's one involving him. So I can see where a lot of people are expecting him to say how he would handle this.
Exactly, Snake. Snake says, can you at least say I'm innocent? No, he can't because he's not.
Because he's not revealing strategy.
He's not revealing strategy. Yeah, look, this whole notion, I don't owe anybody anything. True enough. But you're the one who decided to fire up the stream and talk about it.
Yeah. And still not deny that the document is real.
The best defense is surely being innocent. Yeah, if you can fall back on that. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that card in his deck.
Yeah, really looking that way, isn't it?
And I have zero respect for anyone like that, especially if they call themselves a lawyer.
Well,
anyone who calls himself...
I have zero respect for you right now.
Yeah, no shit. And we don't call ourselves lawyers. In fact, we tell them we're not. We don't take our legal advice.
You're taking your legal advice from a monkey and a stick, man. You got bigger problems, dude.
Uh-huh.
Themselves a lawyer and immediately demands me to run out and bend over before government. Not only shouldn't be a lawyer, they shouldn't be an American.
Yeah, real Americans go out and do a bunch of drugs and leave them laying around with loaded firearms where children can access them.
Real Americans clog up the legal system to get out of their coke habit instead of just going, yeah, sorry, I fucked up.
Yeah, you ain't black if you don't vote for Biden. Well, you ain't an American if you're upset that his 9-year-old had drugs in her system. That kid has a right to party.
Oh, wait, did AP come? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, what's up, AP? Glad to see you alive and kicking. Hope you're doing okay.
AP asks what's going on. It came out tonight right before Nick's show that his 9-year-old had coke in her system, in her hair at least, when they did the follicle test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That 9-year-old with coke. 9-year-olds, dude. 9-year-olds.
The other 4 tested negative. She tested positive.
Yeah, it was enraging reading that document because, look, I worked with children that were in the system for years, and it was very difficult to see normal kids have to go into a system where there's a lot of juvenile delinquents, foster care system specifically, and it changes kids and
Yeah.
it can destroy their lives. It's very, very traumatic. But that your 9-year-old had traces of coke in her system, and not really a little bit, if I remember my drug percentages correctly. It did come off as like a little bit of drugs.
It was something like 5,000 and 500 were the 2 numbers that I remember. But again, it's very blurry to be able to tell.
Why was the test given? Because they found drugs at his house, and they were fairly accessible to the kids. So they're
Yeah.
mandated to do drug tests on the kids to see if they had access. That's why, B.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. Look, I hate the government as much as the next guy, but in this case, the government did its job this time. Yeah, look, we have this discussion about police when Antifa's around. I hate having to root for the police, but sometimes the police are right.
Yeah, and we do need some kind of police force to maintain civil order, but they should be heavily monitored and by civilians. They can't police themselves. That's stupid. Yeah, we didn't do anything wrong. How many times have we seen that? But there are times when you're like, yeah, go hit that dude with a truncheon because he's a piece of shit and he's destroying our town. They're trying to burn down our buildings, stuff like that. It's necessary evil. Anyway, thank you, Keldrick. Nick should take a page from Shaggy's book. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. AP said that means the kids were doing coke. I've never heard of accidental ingestion of coke unless it was just all over. Well, if it was all over, you would expect the other 4, at least one of the other 4 would have. What are the chances only 20% got accidentally in their system?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that to me says, based on what I understand of 9-year-olds, the kids saw them doing it and found some laying around and said, I want to be like mommy and daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And did what was modeled in front of them. I bet they were doing cocaine in front of the kids on a fairly regular basis. If this report is accurate, you got to preface that shit time and time again.
Nick's defenders are saying she got the cocaine from US dollar bills, which have tested for cocaine before. We know that they had rolled up money. I don't think they gave us the denomination, did they?
Yeah, it was a $100 bill.
Rolled up 100 that they were snorting coke with. The thing is, her hair is not going to test positive from touching that dollar bill. It's going to be from ingesting it. It had to be in her blood system.
If it was in her hair follicles, she had ingested it at some point. It was a higher percentage, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong, than what would have been just like a passing aerosolization. So if you kick some in the air and somebody walked through the room and inhaled a little bit, it's not going to be like that. This is most likely the kid trying to imitate mom and dad, or getting a finger of it and licking it or something like that.
Yeah, coke is not like marijuana. Nobody's getting a contact high. Nobody's just walked through a room filled with coke smoke and accidentally huffed some. No, anyway, dangerous. Thank you. I'm not a lawyer, but I feel very confident that I can give Nick some good legal advice that I saw in the movie Liar, Liar. Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Right?
By the way, is Nick on drugs in this stream? Not that I can tell directly. Believe it or not, he actually looks a lot better than he did last time he was streaming from this setup.
Yeah. I would like to clear something up that people keep getting misconception of from that warrant. They keep saying that, there was traces of drugs on the money, but there's traces of drugs on everybody's dollars. It specifically says in the documentation that there was white powder on the 100.
Yes.
So it's not just like a random bill they found laying around that tested for a trace amount. No, this had visible amounts of drugs on it.
The field tests all came back. They were sending it off to the lab. The only thing that we didn't get any confirmation on is what the brown substance in the safe in the garage was. That one, we're still waiting for the tox stuff to come back on it. Anyhow.
Last I checked, we don't do that.
Oh, and AP, if you're still here, you might not want to watch the rest of this because he's being a smug douche about this whole thing.
Round here. I've long talked about the transparency of courts and what they're for. It's amazingly ironic to me that people hear me talk about that. They'll agree.
Is that you or me? Yeah, we reached the hour and a half mark. That's what's going on. All right, so Monkey's Internet's taking a slight 5-minute mandatory union break. So, this is just enraging. I dropped the link a second ago if you guys want to read the documents that were released that may or may not be real. But his arrogance and smugness, and here he's talking about government transparency, which is pretty bold considering he's talking to his lawyers about documents being released. So which is it? Are you opposed to information being released, or do you want more transparency? Pick your favorite, dude. You can't play both sides of this angle. What's Barton said? What kids haven't had Coke in their system? It wouldn't surprise me if you said that. Oh, man. It's just so fucking aggravating. They'll acknowledge Alicia Sweet from the document. Keep on playing.
Sorry about that. My internet finally said fuck it and stopped. Oh.
Yeah, it happens every time around the hour and a half mark. Almost without fail. That's usually when you get like the real boot. I don't know why. It just seems to be a trend.
Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, because I've noticed it's almost always like an hour and a half and then some change. So just look at that look on his face of condescension. This whole thing is just his arrogance and ego talking. So enraging. And somebody said we got to keep watching because he talks about Alicia Sweep from the document.
Yes, he actually addresses her by name.
Interesting.
Excuse me 1 second. Oh, so sorry about that. She is basically the social worker.
Mm-hmm.
Which we find out from the documents that were released today. AP, I know you just did a show. You're welcome to come on if you want. The link's in your email. Please do not feel any pressure to. If you just want to sit back and enjoy the show, just enjoy the show.
Not your fellow man. It was always to hold government accountable. It was because prior to the United States, the legal system was that of the King of England. And he had the Star Chamber. He was the court. He was the enforcement arm of law, the judgment arm of law. And those
Nick, what the fuck does this have to do with what's going on with you? He was the judge, the king back in the day. He was the judge and the jury, and that's just like my case where my daughter had Coke in her system.
Yeah, see, he's a freedom fighter, Monkey. He is out here fighting for our rights. He's like Rosa Parks. That cocaine, Rosa Parks.
Wasn't he just complaining about how documents had been released before they were released to the public? That's weird.
Yeah, I brought that up while you were gone. It's
cool.
He wants to play both sides, like government transparency, but not the documents involving me.
AP, how you doing, my friend?
Well, I've been better, but I think I can handle this, man. Yeah, so the Nick Sims excuse is, the Dick Masterson excuse on this one is, even though this guy was caught with 26 grams of cocaine and ketamine in a house with a bunch of children in it, now that the 9-year-old, excuse me, comes up positive for cocaine in a drug test, that's supposed to be just a coincidence?
Yes.
He's going to go to court and go, well, can you prove that my kid got this from me? Even though it's just circumstantial that I'm a giant fucking cokehead.
Never mind the piles of coke around. How do you know that?
It's just circumstantial that we have admitted coke and swinger parties in the house. They're going to bring Aaron into court on this.
Oh yeah,
and
they're going to have to.
Yeah. Cuck Imholt's going to get this motherfucker fucked.
Yeah, look, just because his girlfriend's credit cards were laying next to the pile of coke with coke on them doesn't mean anything.
At one point, you're really pushing the boundaries of circumstantial evidence, Nick. And you fucking know it. Yeah. You're fucked. You're going to fucking jail. That kid you better pray those fucking. And I heard now that he went on and said those documents weren't supposed to be released. He didn't deny the authenticity of them. He said he was just mad they were released, and his lawyer will be looking into it. Is that correct?
Yes, he all but says that they're real without and just flat out admitting they're real. He says
Good luck, fuckface. Good luck.
Sensitive documents about my family were released.
I was kind of, in the middle. Just like, well, it may not be as bad, after all the hubbub went down, but you coke in the 9-year-old system, no, under the fucking jail for you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
If it had been a house where there wasn't parents in a 3-way swinger relationship banging coke and ketamine, and that was proven, and it was just maybe the kid at school, hey, that may not be your fault, Nick. Unfortunately, you need to go to fucking prison. Fuck you, motherfucker. And if you don't go to prison, I really hope karma catches up with you. I think we'll say it like that. I really hope karma catches up with you.
Yeah. You just put something in my mind I hadn't considered. What if the 9-year-old didn't do coke at the house, but did it at somewhere else, and Dick and them didn't even know about it?
That's possible. I mean, we can't prove that's not the case with kids today.
But
9-year-old,
that makes it a lot less likely.
Minnesota suburb, it would be unlikely.
Yeah, if it had been like the 16, 17-year-old, maybe, but 9-year-olds, dude, 9-year-olds.
Well, I mean, it would explain why they have the scale there. Normally, you don't have to weigh your own drugs, but if some of it keeps coming up missing, Kayla's is saying it's not her, the other whore. I didn't do it. And it's the 9-year-old in the back getting high.
If mistakes were made and they were admitted, I'd be a lot more, because like addiction and shit can crawl up on anybody, man. I mean, and even on parents, I would still be like, get your shit together, get your kids back, man, all that. But coke is not a contact high. You're not blowing it around the room, and it's not like a joint where someone's standing next.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get coke in a child's system other than leaving it laying around?
Yep.
That's
them doing
what
it.
I was saying. There's no way around it. This kid got access to cocaine.
Well, maybe it was on a dollar bill. Yeah. So when you were 9, you went around sniffing dollar bills. No, that's what you did. Yeah. Where do you think? Let's say this kid is rolling up dollar bills and sniffing them. Do you think that's healthy? Do you think that kid hasn't witnessed some shit in that house if they're sniffing rolled up dollar bills?
Let's say that's what it is, that they found a rolled up dollar bill and they snorted through it. That means there was coke on that the kid had access to.
Yeah, never would have occurred to me to sniff it. I would have tried to drink something through it as a kid. It'd have been a straw.
A straw.
Yeah.
The only reason you would associate a straw with going up your fucking nose, even as a kid, is if you've seen that behavior.
Yep. I'm so tired of people saying every dollar bill has trace evidence of cocaine. No, there was documented that this bill had coke on it. The visible coke, not just like, oh, it's microscopic, but it's there, man.
Here, try this. If you've never done coke before, take a dollar bill out of your wallet, roll it up, sniff through it really hard, and in a week, go get your hair checked for cocaine. Yeah. I bet you they won't find any.
Yeah, that's the lamest, saddest cope I've heard since Iranian super hackers. You're done. And anybody who's on this guy's side, I'm done with you, man. Like, they found coke in a kid's system. If that's fucking true, this dude needs to be under the jail.
And
it's disgusting.
like you said, if he was at all, I said this earlier before he came out, because he's like, I'm not coming out and apologize. You don't even have to do that. You could come out, because he's very adamant. I don't owe you guys anything, which is true. You don't. You owe your children. But you could come out and go, I fucked up. I need to take care of my life, you guys. I get why you're upset with me with the charges you've heard about. Even if he's saying they're not real, I get why you're upset. Instead, he's like, no, fuck you guys if you're not on my side.
Yeah. How far are we into this video of his stream?
We're only like 15 minutes in.
So we're 15 minutes in, and he still has not once said he wants to reunite his family.
Even if you're guilty, you don't want to go online and admit guilt at all. I get that, because the prosecutor is going to use that against you. I totally get where that side's coming from. I don't even begrudge him that. If this document is true and they found cocaine in this 9-year-old system in a house where the parents were known to buy fucking ounces at a time and party and the kids weren't being fed and all this shit, I'm not going to consider the cocaine in the child system circumstantial.
Dixie, thank you so much for becoming a member for month number 11. They need to check her friends. She may have done it with her friends. She might have, but the odds of her happening to do coke with her friends, when there's coke just lying around her house.
I don't even think that's a smart thing to say. Like, at this point, yeah, if it would just been like a normal household, yes, you want to check the friends. A household where the parents have a safe full of coke and K and they're partying in that same house with the kids all the time. No, I don't need to check the kids' friends. I know exactly where a 9-year-old doing that would be weird enough with her friends. What is this, Punky Brewster with the drug collection? Only monkeys would be old enough to remember that shit.
I love Punky Brewster.
That shit doesn't happen. And we all laughed even then when we were like, where did these 11-year-olds? Why are they having a vial of cocaine and 2 aspirin? What the fuck is this?
That does bring up an issue, though, is other people who had their kids over at their house may want to get their kids tested, because if their kids spent the night at the Rekieta's, maybe this kid was the introduction to drugs for some other kids.
Aaron's kids were over there.
Yeah. Maybe they should do follicle tests on Aaron's kids and some of the other parents in their homeschool collective or whatever they call that cult.
Oh.
In the hood, Sandwich, maybe. Like these kids get into shit young, like a Drew Barrymore out of the ordinary type of situation. In an upper class Minnesota suburb, the idea that a 9-year-old and her friends are doing blow and just coincidentally dad and mom and I'm you know what I'm saying, man. We're on the same page here.
Bahrain says, why is he abstaining from alcohol and other drugs, or pretending to, if it's all a government conspiracy? No. He never says that it's all just a conspiracy. He very carefully doesn't say he's not guilty. He never denies any response, or never denies the charges here at all. Anyway, let's get back to Nick for a little bit, because we haven't heard from his dumbass for a little bit.
Those courts were held in private. People's charges were private. The details about them were private. The public wasn't allowed to analyze them. I've talked about how, even though it can be embarrassing, our country was founded on the principle of distrust of its authority, distrust of its government.
Distrust the police report and the fucking labs that say my kid have coke in their system, or you're not a patriot.
That's kind of what he said. He's like Rosa Parks, dude. He is like Prince George and Thomas Jefferson and all the other revolutionary patriots.
Remember when they founded the country and there were no laws at all? Oh wait, no, that's not true. No, Circus Zero, thank you. He probably left some coke in the kitchen after one of his kitchen local streams. The 9-year-old got up a lot during the night. Probably getting up because she was on coke. The years old has interrupted his streams a lot for glasses of water. Yeah, she was on coke.
she's got cotton mouth. She's all wired.
Right, my throat tastes like aspirin, Dad.
She couldn't sleep. Coke is a stimulant.
There's one of two ways that kid got coke in their system. One, they took it from their parents trying to be like their parents.
Yes.
Two, they saw their parents sniffing dollar bills, ran up across one of them rolled up dollar bills and some coke in it, pretended to be like mom and dad. Either way, this fucker needs to be behind bars.
Yeah, I do not believe the accidental ingestion ideas. I just don't. Now,
Coke doesn't work like that. Coke's not even water soluble. The minute it touches sweat or water or saliva, it's dissolved. You can't even test it in that kind of shit. That's why Coke dealers walk around and carry a big bottle of water in their car so they can throw their fucking bag in the water because you can't test it. It's not like meth. I know a little something about Coke too, Nick. You're not going to pull that over on me.
A healthy, necessary evil of putting a few people in charge of many.
The necessary part is what we're talking about here, Nick. Just because there's bad cops and bad busts doesn't mean every bust is bad.
Yeah.
You're the reason we need the necessary evil.
But holding them accountable and adhering to freedom. And the amount of fucking pussies out there now who consistently lose that principle and say, no, actually, government must be correct at all times.
The government has nothing to do with it, you motherfucker. You were absolutely doing a bunch of fucking blow. You were absolutely the party guy dad admitting you were fucked up out of your mind. More whacked out than anyone should be in their house with children in the house, man. You have no excuse to be that whacked out as a parent, even with the kids asleep. At one point, you go, what if there's an emergency? I need to stop.
Yeah, this is just more of his arrogance. He's like trying to compare himself to some sort of person at the Boston Tea Party.
Just
like I'm
on his cross.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
can
giant
never get that last nail
conspiracy.
in, Nick.
Fuck that, man. The whole town is not coming down on you because you party too hard and they're jealous of you. You coping, pathetic piece of shit. Here's what we know because it's been collaborated by witnesses. A, you were partying in that house. B, with those very drugs. C, now it's in your kid's fucking system. 9, not the 16-year-old. I might believe the 16-year-old had his own hookup. 9, fuck you.
Even at 16, I would almost be more forgiving of them trying it. I mean, that's when a lot of us started doing stupid shit in our life, and you have access to it. Still makes Nick guilty. And this is a 9-year-old, though. At 9, I was not thinking about drugs at all. I was playing G.I. Joe and
scared
football.
Of drugs at 9. I was still I was still like brainwashed from 80s programming and G.I. Joe and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought one hit of marijuana would make me addicted.
Oh yeah. Marijuana is going to turn you into a junkie sucking
monster.
dick.
I'll become that giant smoke cloud from the morning special.
You saw what caffeine pills did to Jesse on Saved by the Bell. Can you imagine what a hit of the marijuana would do to you?
I was like me in the emergency room the other night, just screaming, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And they're like, hey, man, you're actually in what's called tachycardia. Calm down. No, they didn't.
Yeah, speaking of which, everybody was asking about you. I'm glad you're okay, or at least as okay as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all a little worried.
No need for all that.
On top, well, we gotta. On topic, that just something you brought up there. What of all of the drug specials, guys? If you're our age, you watched a lot of fucking drug specials as a kid. Which one stands out in your mind? A sitcom special episode?
You know, the time out of all the great ones, which are like the Saturday morning cartoons all getting together, was a good one. Saved by the Bell, but to me, the crown jewel will always be who was it that did it? It was Carlton. When Carlton took Speed and went to the prom.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, it was Alex Keaton doing it in Family Ties.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jack, you got one?
I'm going with the Jesse one from Saved by the Bell.
Fair.
That is a classic. You
can't go wrong with that. Really can't go wrong. Or alternately, the pedophile from Different Strokes.
I was going to say
addicted to that little booty.
But that's not child's booty is not a drug. Come on now.
Apparently, it was that guy because he was acting like he was fiending for it.
You know, we never really explored whether or not he got it on his friend. Remember,
Dudley.
They had to go save that kid.
Yeah, they had to go save Dudley.
Dudley was already
too late
shirtless.
for Dudley's cornhole.
Oh, good times.
No, that was a different show.
They used to. Well played. Yeah, their big one was Janet Jackson getting beat by her mom.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember, What, Ginger? Does that bother you too? That made my dog sad.
Ginger hates that bitch.
See, they don't do that anymore. When we were kids, Ginger, they warned you about pedophiles. Now they have them come read books to you at the library.
Right?
Yeah.
And they warned us about pedophiles with a laugh track.
Yes.
Like if you watch that Different Strokes episode, there are some very fucked up laugh tracks. Or Mr. Belvedere, when the little kid on Mr. Belvedere at the camp.
Yeah. Fuck.
It's not playtime, Ginger.
Yeah. Okay,
Look,
here we go.
back then,
No.
people were tougher.
Baffles me more when they work with the government in the system and still think that way.
Oh, and for the record, you probably missed this part too, AP. He's mad right now because Legal Mindset said, hey, if they give you a deal that doesn't include jail time, you should take that. And he's like, I'm gonna fight the power. He's turning into Flava Flav up here.
This motherfucker is under the impression he's untouchable because of his
Yeah.
wealth and his fucking ego and being a lawyer. And I cannot wait to watch it come crashing down. And if it doesn't, I hope you're treated like OJ. I hope everyone just knows you did it.
I was shocked that a American flag didn't fall down behind him as he put on a tri-corner hat, because this little speech he just did about how he's fighting the powerful government, it's nonsense. It's all ego driven. This is just his own selfishness coming through. Again, he has not talked about his children once, about getting them back.
That's probably the smartest thing here, though. I'm definitely not on this motherfucker's side. But it would, just like in a divorce, you probably shouldn't just say nothing right now in public about that.
Real quick, I just want to address this. Wars 910 said, I've got a question. Did that documentation say that it was ingested, or was it on the actual head, like it was on particles, like they had gone near the drugs? No, it was in the hair test.
10 times as much as needed to be registered. The minimum was 500. They had 5,000 in their hair. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was ingested. That wasn't just like a little grain of it might have gotten to on the bottom of their foot.
Dangerous. Thank you. For all the people saying kids wouldn't do this, child care workers are taught to watch out for age inappropriate behavior. Kids learn behavior and will repeat it, especially if it's frequently seen. True.
We've said that too, is, there's only two ways we can think of logically this happened, and both of them are not good.
Yeah. For those of you who are not up on your drug culture, like my wife would not understand any of this. She is so naive and innocent. I'm the worst thing she's ever done. When you take drugs, and they can even do this with cigarettes, they can test your hair to see not just how much you've been doing, but how long ago you did it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like tree rings. As your hair grows out, it just stays there.
Let me clarify even a little further for anybody that wants to be a fucking retard. It's not like they're combing your hair for lice. They pull follicles out and then take them to a laboratory, and they analyze the actual hair, not things caught in your hair. It's not looking for bugs that are attached to the hair. It's inside the follicle itself. They're actually breaking down the hair follicles and testing what is composed in the follicles. And that's how they do drug tests for things like this.
It's not incidental contact, and they found trace amounts of coke in her hair because she slept on Nick's pillow, which is covered in it.
Yeah.
Now he's got Johnny Depp pictures and the Joker behind him. How fucking cringe is that?
Well, this is because he doesn't care about his image, so he took down all the alcohol.
And put up, and now he's gonna just be a cringe lord. I'm the Joker, man. I'm just like the Joker. I'm persecuted by a world that doesn't understand me. No, we just don't want you letting your kids get hold of your fucking drugs, man. How far is this supposed to go before you go to jail? If my kid's way older than 9, and if she got a hold of my gun and fired one round in the fucking air, I'd be in a lot of trouble, Nick. What do you think? What would you say if I just let that happen? Let the gun unattended, let a kid get a hold of it, fired one in the air. Nobody got hurt. You think something should happen to me for being that irresponsible, Nick? A kid could have died.
Number 1 says, so I can cut and smoke my hair sweet. No, do not do that. Do not do that.
Don't tell me, a gun is a lot more dangerous than cocaine, because cocaine can also kill a child.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
I will not. I never will. You'll never get that from me on this channel. I will not be coming out here crying to you about something that didn't ever involve anyone here.
See how he keeps doing that? I will not come out and apologize for something I didn't do. I didn't do to you.
I didn't expect him to apologize, because that would kind of indicate guilt and in court.
Well, no, but that's why I said it the way that I did. Look, guys, I've heard the charges too. If I were you, I would be upset. I understand that. I
don't know. He's just being such a smug cunt.
Yes,
I
he's
hear
just being
he's
so-
being a smug cunt.
so and for him to, I'm not worried about my reputation. That's how he started this little rant. He's very insistent that you guys know he's a badass. He ain't putting up with this shit. Grr.
Yeah, somewhere deep down, I think this motherfucker knows what's coming down the rails at him, though. I see this look in his eye where he's trying to act tough, but he's got a lot of adrenaline going through his system right now. Hey Nick, I've been myself. I've been riddled with terrible stuff for the last week. I know the look in your face. It's dread.
Been weeks though. It's been weeks. If this was the stream 2 days after he gets out of jail, okay, I get that. He's had time to reflect. And he's still like this.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that says to me, they should probably check his house for coke.
Yeah. But yeah, look, he doesn't care about his reputation. That's why he changed his set. That's why he's constantly bitching about his online reputation.
I'm not going to act like that ever.
I mean, I wouldn't even be, I wouldn't even be doing shows and shit on it. I think this is
it's dumb.
Yeah.
He should have kept his fucking mouth shut.
You know what's better than saying a few things is like saying nothing at all, dude.
He should have come on and just done his regular show and ignored people asking about it. And he just tell them right off the bat, look, guys, I'm not talking about the case at all. We're just going to do a show. Here we go. If you guys super chat about it, I'll read it, but I'm not addressing it.
No, his super chats were censored too because people were mentioning the kids in the super chats and they were getting deleted.
Yep.
You ever watch like a pedophile get busted on the internet because they do something really dumb? And you catch yourself being like, you are the stupidest motherfucker ever. Be like, I'm not on your side or nothing. I'm not saying you should have been smarter and not got caught. I'm just saying, even as a guilty man, this was dumb.
All he's doing is proving that criminals are stupid.
Yeah. Like, hey, like,
all of them.
This could also be ego. I just don't think you're going to be smarter than the whole criminal court system. And if you were my lawyer and I was trying to be smarter than the whole criminal court system, you would probably tell me to shut the fuck up, right?
No, he would be out there telling you to ask for an admiral.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to fight the government, man. So pathetic.
Why did they delete the super chat asking who was tighter, April or Kayla? I think that's self-explanatory.
I mean, I think I can assume why that would have been deleted. Yeah.
Although, I mean, just because she's younger doesn't mean it was tighter.
Come on, man. April's had like 5 kids. Let's just be, or no, Kayla, I mean, has had 5 kids. Let's just be honest here.
Well, maybe they got that shit stitched up really nice.
That stuff snaps back, man.
I hope she's bathing in vinegar every day to keep up with a woman half her age who's never had one baby.
Yeah, some of the stuff I heard there, I have my own opinions about that.
Doing Kegels in a barrel of vinegar. I'm gonna get my husband back. I'm gonna get my husband back.
Watch this show because for some reason it entertains you. I often fucking wonder what it is. Because I couldn't watch my show. I would find it terrible. And
for the record, guys, I actually like my show. Every time I have to go back and check for something, I find myself laughing at us in ways that I didn't as we were talking. For how you have such a low opinion of yourself with the high opinion you obviously have of yourself, dude.
Well, that's false modesty right there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I promise you, every time I ask you guys, why do you watch this shit? I'm secretly thinking, we're so funny.
Yeah, I know why, because we're fucking awesome. Like, share, and subscribe.
Maybe you do, and maybe that's what you like. That's cool. Maybe you find it wildly enjoyable. That's great. I'm glad. I come out here to entertain you. Now, this stream is not about entertainment, although many of you will probably be entertained by it, and that's good.
For all the wrong reasons, homie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm entertained by this just because I cannot believe you're so dumb you accidentally admitted you're guilty. And he absolutely did that, AP. There's a moment where he basically admits it.
No, I can't wait to catch that.
He says that the state has made allegations of criminal behavior, and that criminal behavior has had an effect on my family. Like, not the accusation has had an effect. The criminal behavior has. Whoopsie.
Yeah, he's gonna say he just meant the state was accusing that it affected his family. He's gonna try to twist those words. He's a lawyer, a dirty, evil cokehead lawyer.
But this is exactly why they tell you not to talk, because that's now part of the record that could be used against him.
That's why you should say nothing.
Yeah, you'd have been better off just canceling his stream today.
This stream is one of the few real serious streams that I have to do.
You didn't have
because
to.
I will be back full-time streaming. And
you guys ever see what happened with like Darkside Phil and Wings of Redemption, those guys?
Hey man, I gotta bounce. I'm okay.
Oh,
no, it's not a health or anything. I just gotta bounce.
Cool.
Catch you guys
better.
later. I'll be watching
rest.
them. Thank you. That's what I'm gonna go do.
All right, take care, bud.
Yeah, take care, man.
But yeah, if you've ever seen what happened with Darkside Phil and those kind of guys, it doesn't start with everybody hating them. It's one little thing. And then every time they stream, that comes up to the point where it just starts to gnaw at them. And then they lash out. Nick's already lashing out at people here. I don't think you have the mental stability that you think you do for what's coming your way. Especially after this drop today. Especially after your kid had coke in her system. It's not just going to be all fun and games back to haha. You're going to have to heavily moderate everything.
Well, and on top of that, look at the spiraling a lot of these guys did, like DSP and Wings, that once it started to be annoying to them, it just kept getting worse because they couldn't stop themselves.
And the trolls feed on that. They go out of their way to try to find that button that's going to make them break.
Yeah. Now watch. If this smug bullshit chased some of his whales away and his money starts going down, he's going to get frustrated with that. And more people are going to start to pile on like they did with like Mundane Matt and everybody else that became a lol cow. It's going to frustrate him more and more. So it's going to make him spiral even more and respond viscerally without thinking about it. And on some off-guard moment, he's going to say something that he really shouldn't have said.
DSP makes more money now than he ever did. Stop playing.
No, he's on some show now with who's it, Keemstar or somebody? Isn't he doing a podcast with somebody?
No, he was supposed to be on that, but didn't do it.
Oh.
The idea was to have him, Wings, and Boogie all on together, and he wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. That probably would have been the most tarded stream ever.
Okay, I haven't paid attention to that in a while. Maybe he joined, but last I knew, he'd refused. Thank you, Keldrick. Nick is expertly demonstrating why doctors aren't supposed to self-medicate, psychiatrists aren't supposed to self-diagnose, and most appropriately, lawyers aren't supposed to represent themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, like Nick said in his one stream, him doing the arraignment is no big deal. That's pretty cut and paste. But he has hired a lawyer for himself, but I can't believe his lawyer approved this.
This was going to be the announcement for that. A little bit of recognition of the differences in the studio that I have.
That's what you should have done.
Well, not different. It's the same studio, but different decorations and arrangements of things. And there's still some stuff to be done on it. We were going to talk about my biggest current concern, which is I got more fan mail, but tonight's no longer appropriate for that.
It's what you should have done.
Yeah, you should have ignored all this shit and just done your regular show. Go over your fan mail, talk about your studio changes, as dumb as they are. Nobody cares. So instead of focusing on this, because now it's just this petulant, arrogant rant.
Mega Monster says, I've argued with his lawyer on Twitter. He's a dipshit. Who's his lawyer? Did he get tie beard?
Yes, that's right. In the midst of all of this, I got an ethics complaint for swearing too fucking much, which puts me at, I think, 57.
And it'll be ignored.
Yeah,
I think.
Nobody cares.
I lost count. It was going to be a more entertainment focused show. I know people are going to have commentary. They're going to have questions. They're going to have demands about my situation. And I'll just have to say all the things I'm going to say impactful to my case will be said through counsel in court. They won't be said here. You've watched this channel.
You're already saying shit though. I hate when people do this shit. If you're not going to
clever.
If you're not going to talk about it, don't talk about it.
No, I'm not talking about it.
This whole thing should have been at most a minute at the top of your show going, guys, we're not talking about that stuff. If you're here for it, sorry, we're not doing it. The end. And instead, you had to be smarter than everyone else.
Yep.
As you accidentally admitted it.
Long enough, you should understand that. And if that's not acceptable to you, too fucking bad. There's no other way for me to do it. Right now, I am charged with a serious felony. Many of you have heard that sentence. Possibility is 25 years. It's a very unlikely outcome for someone like me, but it is a possibility, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things.
Does anybody know what the average sentence is for somebody convicted of 25 plus grams in Minnesota when their kids had access to the drugs provable by a hair follicle test?
I don't know. That would add a separate charge of child endangerment and probably reckless endangerment for that matter.
That's not something to be taken lightly. It's not something to be laughed at.
People
come out and they say,
I mean, for him, it's not.
Yeah, but I mean, other people can laugh at you. I mean, there's lots of people that don't like you, Nick.
All the people you've celebrated who've had a fall?
Yeah, be careful what you do, man. Oh, did you drop again? Oh, no. Monkey's gone. He was, they got him with the assassins. But traffic convictions he completely ignores or something to be laughed at. Yeah, I mean, check Murphy. Karma is indeed a bitch. Yeah, when it strikes hard and ruthless. Child neglect, child endangerment, drug charges. Yeah, they're going to pile on a bunch more charges, I bet. There you are.
Hi. Damn it. Okay. I backed it up a moment because this part is important. We're going to do this and then we'll probably wrap up because my computer is telling me to go fuck myself.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, here we go.
that's not something to be taken lightly. It's not something to be laughed at. People come out and they say, Nick hasn't taken accountability for his actions. And I'm like, the government hasn't proven my actions.
You shouldn't need the government to make you accountable for your actions, sir. That's not being accountable for your actions. That's being forced to be accountable. That's being held accountable for your actions.
Yeah, but that goes back to the arrogance thing where he doesn't think that he should have to abide by the same rules as anyone else. He's better than us plebs. Those rules, they don't apply to me. It's the same mentality as a sovereign citizen. It really is. Like, I don't have to abide by these laws because I don't respect them.
Here's the thing. I do agree with AP on this. If he was contrite about this, guys, I fucked up. I started doing drugs. I never should have. It led me down a bad path. I'm getting clean. At least I could root for him in that.
Yeah.
You still fucked up major, and I will always look at you with a side eye. But at least that is taking accountability. That's going, I did this. I fucked up. I need to make it is. And I get not doing that on stream. I do.
Yeah.
But that's why I shouldn't be streaming at all.
Yeah. Because this comes off as smug, deflective, and it looks like addict behavior.
Mm-hmm.
He has shown no regard for anyone else's safety or his own. He's just, this is just me being hunted by the man.
Yeah.
It's so arrogant and egotistical. It's disgusting. And he's playing victim here.
Yeah, and Snake, you're right. Once again, he does not deny. He never denies it ever.
Yeah.
He accidentally admits it.
He's
I'm
trying,
not going to stop laughing about that because that's funny as shit to me.
yeah, he's trying to be lawyerly and look like the smartest person in the room, and it makes him look like an unlikable douchebag, especially when the story currently out is that his kid was tested and had drugs in her system at 9, and you're
Yeah.
acting like you're a fucking patriot from the revolution. Shut the fuck up, dude.
He's
You
just
look like
standing.
an ass.
He's standing up to that king's court where they did shit in secret.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Making a reference to the fucking Star Chamber of the 1700s. Dude, what are you talking about? Did the Illuminati do it? Are they in the room with you now?
Yes. Oh, holy shit. That's actually memology in the chat. Hi there, dude. Fan of your work, man.
His friends continue to enable him as no big deal. Yeah. Yeah. And this is just pathetic. He never should have done this stream. I think they're going to find a way to use this against him. But I guarantee you they're going to add more charges on. I'm telling you, they're going to stack more charges on because this makes him look like he is in no way willing to change.
All right. A little bit more, and then we're going to wrap this one up, guys.
So how can I take accountability for that which hasn't been shown?
Oh,
Again,
personal responsibility is not a concept he understands.
No, because he thinks he's above the rules. You haven't proven anything. I'm a lawyer. I'm the smartest person in the fucking room. You're just a dumb Rube. And if you don't believe me and how awesome I am, then fuck you. Give me your money, Rube. I'm getting angrier as this goes on.
I know. We're almost done.
What I do know is this. I have counsel in this case. People thought I would represent myself because I guess they're retarded.
No, it's because they saw your arraignment when you said you were representing yourself. They thought it was,
And all the arrogant stuff you've said since. So,
yeah.
I have counsel in this case. He seems like a good dude, a competent dude, and we will be going through this and doing what needs to be done.
All right, we're going to end there. If he's competent, he would be telling you to take whatever fucking deal you can get because you are hosed, man. You're hosed.
Yeah, especially if that report is accurate and his daughter, a 9-year-old daughter, had drugs in her system.
They found the drugs in your house. It's on camera reportedly because they have body cams there. They took it from it's not like there's an implication that they planted it.
Yeah.
Your best argument is, but the search warrant isn't proof positive that I did it, which isn't what a search warrant is for. It's not what the probable cause standard is for it.
Yeah.
That's your best defense right now. And if your lawyer's worth of shit, he's telling you if they give you a deal with no jail time, you take it.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said before, the fact the kid had drugs in her system means they're probably going to add charges, which they're going to want some time for. Either from him or Kayla. I don't think they're going to care. But the chances of him getting some time have increased dramatically now.
Your lawyer gets paid by the hour, and the longer this draws out, he's not the one going to jail. You're his pay piggy now.
Yeah. No, Jeremy, I get what he's saying about the warrant. He's saying the warrant's not valid, but I've seen search warrants before, and I think they had enough there for the probable cause. It may be a little thin, it may be circumstantial, it doesn't matter. They had enough. I think he's wrong about that. He could try and fight it, and if he's got a good lawyer, maybe he'll get out of it. But yeah, he probably won't serve any time, but I think his chances have gone up if this document that leaked today is accurate.
If his daughter had drugs in her system, this goes to trial, he's at least getting 2 years easy. There's no way they go through the whole trial. He's found guilty. One, you're going to piss off the judge for going through this with so much fucking evidence against you. Yeah, he's 2 years is not out of the realm of possibility. Alpha Omega, thank you. Jail's unlikely. First offense in Deep Blue State. He can't admit to anything yet, no trial yet, and it will be used against him in court. Best he shut the fuck up. Yeah, he should just shut the fuck up. 100%.
He absolutely should have never streamed today because he got so hooked on this, or just done a regular stream, but he couldn't because his ego won't allow it.
You want to piss off a court? Go ahead and get kids involved in drugs and see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even a blue state, the rural folk, they don't like that. 9-year-olds with drugs in their systems. That ain't good. That ain't a good look.
He deserves at least 5 years in prison. My guess would be, if this goes through trial, honestly, with everything we know, probably something like a 2 to 5 year sentence. He'll serve maybe a year and a half tops, and then be on probation for a decade or so as he has to stay clean to stay out of jail.
Yeah, and even if he failed a piss quiz, they'll give you some leeway there. So, like the first bad P test, they'll be like, all right, you're going to do 10 days to remind you why you don't like this. But I think if these if this document is real, his chances of getting some jail time have increased exponentially. So it's more likely. It's still unlikely, but it's a stronger possibility now that he'll get some time. And like I said, 2 years, that would be probably what I would go with too. They'll give him like a 2 to 5, and he'll do like 6 months to a year.
Mavis asked, did they specify the drugs in the kid's system? Yeah, it was coke.
Yeah,
it's cocaine. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us on this ride that we're taking with Nick here. Jesus Christ, man.
It just keeps getting stupider. Like, I thought it was dumb before, but it just keeps getting dumber.
Thank you, Germ, who says Ethan Van Sciver won. The coke was the child's drugs. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm telling you, I saw that movie Megan. That this kid might have planted all the drugs.
They were,
He's really like 30 years old.
She was hungry, wanted some Pop-Tarts. Dad wouldn't get it, so she's like, "Fuck that! I'm planting drugs in the house and calling the police."
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm gonna get really stinky and not change my clothes so I can frame them." Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. Jack, anything you want to shell out before we leave?
No, I dropped the link to the Twitter link to the thing that leaked today. So if you guys want to read it, it's in the chat again. But thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. And thanks for being the greatest audience on the internet.
Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a great night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Here's a song at the end of the show. Go away.